You woke up this morning and your legs felt like they were filled with wet sand. Not pain exactly. Something heavier than pain. A dragging, leaden ache that starts in your calves before your feet even touch the floor. You sat on the edge of the bed for a moment longer than usual, gripping the mattress with both hands, waiting for your body to catch up with your intentions. And you didn't say anything about it. Not to your spouse, not to your kids, because you didn't want them to worry. Because you told yourself it was just age. You smiled and said you were fine. But deep down, in that quiet place where only you can hear yourself think, you knew something wasn't right. Here is what nobody told you. What you felt this morning was not just aging, it was your blood flow quietly struggling. And it is something that can change. Stay with me, because what you are about to learn could change everything. Most people believe that poor circulation in the legs is simply part of getting older, something you manage with compression socks and a recliner. But that belief has quietly cost millions of seniors years of comfort, independence, and strength. The truth is that the supplement industry makes billions each year selling you pills and powders that target this exact problem, many of which contain synthetic compounds your aging digestive system can barely absorb. Meanwhile, something far more powerful has been sitting in your kitchen this entire time, backed by real science from real universities, and almost nobody is using it the way researchers say it actually works. But here is the truth they never wanted you to know. This video is specifically for you if you are over 60 and you have noticed that your legs feel heavier than they used to, that the swelling by evening has become something you expect, or that climbing a simple staircase now demands a moment of recovery at the top. What you are about to discover are 5 specific oils, real, natural, inexpensive, and deeply researched, that scientists have found genuinely improve blood flow in the legs of older adults. And the last one? It is sitting in most kitchens right now, but almost nobody is using it correctly. That one, in particular, might surprise you. The first oil on this list is one you have likely heard of before, but not the way science actually describes it. Most people think of extra virgin olive oil as simply a heart-healthy fat, something you drizzle on salad because it tastes good, and your doctor said it was better than butter. That understanding is true, but it is barely scratching the surface of what this oil actually does inside your blood vessels. The real story is far more specific and far more powerful, especially for the circulation in your legs. Here is what the research actually shows. A landmark controlled trial conducted at La Trobe University in Australia found that adults who consumed high polyphenol extra virgin olive oil every day experienced a measurable reduction in their systolic blood pressure, the pressure against your artery walls, within just 3 weeks. And a separate study published in a peer-reviewed cardiovascular journal found that extra virgin olive oil consumption improved what researchers call endothelial function in older adults with elevated cholesterol. The endothelium, let us say that plainly, is the delicate inner lining of every blood vessel in your body, including the long arteries that carry blood down into your legs. When that lining is healthy, it produces a molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is your body's natural signal to blood vessels to relax and open wider. More nitric oxide means more space for blood to flow. Less of it means your vessels tighten, your blood slows, and your legs feel exactly the way they did this morning. That heavy, dragging pressure you feel in your lower legs when you have been sitting for an hour, that is sluggish circulation speaking. And the polyphenols in extra virgin olive oil, compounds called hydroxytyrosol and oleocanthal, directly stimulate that nitric oxide pathway. They essentially send your blood vessels a signal to loosen their grip. Here is exactly how to use it. Take 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil each day. The critical word is raw. Do not cook with it at high heat. Drizzle it over your meals, add it to vegetables after cooking, or mix it into a small bowl of hummus. High heat destroys the polyphenols, which are the exact compounds doing the circulatory work. Combine it with cooked tomatoes when you can. The fat in the oil dramatically increases your body's absorption of lycopene from the tomatoes, which provides an additional layer of protection for your arterial walls. Look for a bottle that says cold-pressed and unfiltered, and always choose a dark glass bottle over a clear plastic one. Here is the pro trick most people miss entirely. Let your bottle of olive oil sit at room temperature for at least 10 minutes before you use it if it has been stored in a cool cupboard. Cold temperatures slow the absorption of polyphenols in your digestive tract. That one small step, 10 minutes at room temperature, gives your aging digestive system a far better chance of absorbing the full circulatory benefit of every drop. That alone is remarkable. But the next oil on this list works through an entirely different mechanism inside your body, one that directly targets the stiffness of the arteries feeding your legs. Once you understand how it works at the cellular level, you will never think about this oil the same way again. Fish oil has been celebrated for decades as a supplement for heart health, and most seniors over 60 have either tried it or been told to try it. But the popular understanding stops at "it is good for your heart." What the latest science reveals is far more specific to the exact problem you are experiencing in your legs. In a groundbreaking study conducted at Penn State University's College of Medicine, healthy older adults with an average age of 66 who took 4 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per day for 12 weeks experienced a 9% reduction in what researchers measure as central arterial stiffness, the resistance your large arteries create against blood flow. That 9% reduction happened in just 12 weeks. It did not happen in the young adults in the same study. It happened specifically in the older group because aging arteries have more to gain from this intervention. The reason this matters for your legs is deeply physical. Your arteries are not rigid pipes. They are supposed to be elastic, flexible, and pulsing with each heartbeat, pushing blood all the way down through your thighs, through your calves, and into your feet. When those arteries stiffen with age, a process researchers call arterial aging, your heart has to work harder to push blood through them, and the circulation in your extremities, meaning your hands and especially your feet and legs, suffers first. That is why your legs feel the symptoms before anywhere else. The omega-3 fatty acids EPA and DHA, found in fish oil, physically incorporate themselves into the membrane of your artery cells. They make those membranes more fluid, more flexible, more responsive. The result is blood that moves more freely, with less resistance, from your heart all the way to the tips of your toes. Researchers also found that omega-3 supplementation reduces triglycerides, fats in your blood that thicken its consistency, and lowers inflammation markers in the artery walls themselves. Take 2 to 4 grams of combined EPA and DHA per day. Always take fish oil with your largest meal of the day. Fat-soluble compounds like EPA and DHA are absorbed dramatically better when your digestive system is actively processing other foods. An empty stomach wastes the supplement almost entirely. Here is your pro trick for fish oil. Store your capsules in the freezer. Frozen fish oil capsules take longer to break down in your stomach, which means the release happens lower in your digestive tract, closer to the small intestine where absorption is highest. Some people also notice far less of the fishy repeat when they take frozen capsules. It is a small habit that makes a meaningful difference. What comes next, though, is where the story gets personal. Because the third oil on this list is the one that changed a real person's daily life in a way she did not expect. Avocado oil sits on the shelf at most grocery stores, and most seniors either pass it by completely or buy it for cooking without fully understanding what it does inside the body. The common belief is that avocado oil is simply a high-quality cooking oil, a trendy substitute for vegetable oil. What the research reveals is something significantly more important. A study published in a peer-reviewed pharmacology journal found that avocado oil reduced diastolic blood pressure, the resting pressure inside your arteries between heartbeats, by 21%, and reduced systolic blood pressure by 15% in subjects with high blood pressure. A 2025 review published in the journal Pharmaceutics confirmed that avocado oil demonstrates genuine anti-aging potential at the cellular level, including measurable benefits against hypertension, high blood pressure, in older adults. Almost 60% of avocado oil is oleic acid, a monounsaturated omega-9 fat. Oleic acid does something specific and elegant inside your arteries. It keeps the inner lining of your blood vessels smooth and flexible, prevents the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, the process that creates sticky arterial plaque, and helps maintain the elasticity that your arteries need to push blood steadily down into your legs. Think about what oxidized LDL cholesterol actually does inside your blood vessels. It collects along the arterial walls, like rust, building up inside a pipe. Over time, that buildup narrows the channel through which blood travels. The narrower the channel, the harder it is for enough blood to reach your legs. That is why your feet feel cold. That is why your calves ache. Oleic acid, the dominant fat in avocado oil, actively interrupts that rusting process. Use 1 to 2 tablespoons of avocado oil per day because it has a very high smoke point, meaning it does not break down into harmful compounds at high cooking temperatures. It is one of the few oils you can safely use both raw and cooked without losing its benefit. Drizzle a tablespoon over roasted vegetables with dinner, or use it to sauté your morning eggs instead of butter. Combine it with 1 clove of minced fresh garlic whenever possible. Garlic contains a compound called allicin that acts as a natural vasodilator. It signals your blood vessel walls to relax and widen. Avocado oil and fresh garlic together create a combination that directly amplifies blood flow to the lower extremities. The pro trick with avocado oil is this: choose avocado oil in dark glass or opaque containers, not clear plastic. The oleic acid in avocado oil is sensitive to light. Clear plastic bottles allow light exposure that begins to degrade the oil's beneficial compounds before you ever open it. Dark glass or opaque containers preserve those compounds so that what you consume is actually what the research studied. Her name was Margaret. She was 72 years old and lived in Columbus, Ohio. For 3 years, she had quietly stopped doing the things she loved. She stopped going to her Thursday evening book club because the parking lot required a walk that left her legs aching for hours afterward. She stopped baking with her granddaughter because standing at the counter for more than 20 minutes caused the familiar burning heaviness in her calves. She had tried compression stockings. She had tried 2 different supplements from the pharmacy. She told her doctor, and her doctor told her that some of this was just part of aging. But Margaret did not fully believe that. 6 weeks after she began adding avocado oil and one of the other oils from this list to her daily meals, she noticed something on a Tuesday morning. She climbed the stairs to her bedroom without holding the wall for the first time in nearly 2 years. She did not say anything to anyone that day. She just stood at the top of the stairs, put her hand on her chest, and cried quietly for a moment. Not from sadness, but from something that felt like herself coming back. Her story is not unique. Right now, thousands of seniors across the country are discovering exactly this. Before we go any further, I want to take one moment to speak directly to you. If what you are hearing today is helping you, if even one thing has made you think or given you a little hope, please take 3 seconds and hit that like button. You have no idea how much it means. Every single like tells us that real people, real seniors, are finding value in this content. Subscribe to Older Coach and turn on the bell so you never miss a video like this one. I promise you, everything we create here is made with one purpose only: to help you stay strong, stay healthy, and stay independent for as long as possible. And I would love to hear from you personally. Drop a comment below and tell me, which symptom have you noticed most in your legs as you have gotten older, and how long have you been living with it? Your story matters. I read every single comment. And if this video has moved you or helped you in any way, the Super Thanks button is a beautiful way to say so. Every contribution keeps this channel alive for seniors who need it most. Now we come to the oil that surprises nearly everyone who hears about it. Black seed oil, pressed from the seeds of the Nigella sativa plant, has been used medicinally for thousands of years across the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia. Most people in the Western world have never heard of it, or if they have, they assume it is simply a folk remedy with no real science behind it. That assumption is completely wrong. A clinical study published in the journal Phytotherapy Research found that healthy volunteers who took just 5 milliliters, about 1 teaspoon, of Nigella sativa oil daily for 8 weeks experienced statistically significant reductions in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure, with no adverse effects observed. That is just 8 weeks and just 1 teaspoon per day. A 2025 review confirmed that Nigella sativa supplementation significantly improves blood pressure, inflammatory markers, and lipid profiles in adults. The active compound responsible for most of these effects is called thymoquinone. Thymoquinone works in your body in a way that will sound familiar to anyone who has ever taken blood pressure medication. It acts similarly to a class of drugs called calcium channel blockers. Calcium channel blockers work by preventing calcium from entering the smooth muscle cells that surround your arteries. When calcium cannot enter, those muscle cells relax. When they relax, your arteries open wider. When your arteries are wider, blood flows more freely. More blood flowing freely means more oxygen and nutrients reaching the muscles of your legs. In addition to this vasodilating effect, the relaxing and widening of blood vessels, thymoquinone also reduces inflammatory cytokines. Cytokines are signaling molecules that your immune system uses, and when certain ones are overactive in the blood vessel walls, they cause those walls to become stiff and inflamed. Stiff, inflamed artery walls squeeze your blood flow. Black seed oil quiets that inflammatory signaling down, restoring suppleness to the vessels your circulation depends on. Take 1 teaspoon, 5 milliliters, of black seed oil per day. It has a strong, slightly bitter flavor, so many people mix it into 1 tablespoon of raw honey, which makes it far more pleasant and also adds its own mild anti-inflammatory properties. You can also add it to warm water with lemon as a morning drink. Do not add it to boiling hot water, as extreme heat can degrade thymoquinone. The pro trick with black seed oil is the timing. Researchers studying thymoquinone absorption found that this compound reaches its highest concentration in the bloodstream when consumed on an empty stomach in the morning, specifically within the first 30 minutes after waking. Taking it at breakfast or mid-morning still provides benefit, but taking it first thing, before food, maximizes how much thymoquinone your body actually absorbs and puts to work. And now we have arrived at the last oil on this list. This is the one that truly surprises people, because it is likely already in your kitchen. In fact, you may have walked past it a dozen times without ever connecting it to what you feel in your legs. Flaxseed oil is familiar to many seniors as something health-conscious people add to smoothies or take for general wellness. Most people believe it is helpful in a vague, general way. Maybe good for digestion, maybe good for the skin. What the science actually reveals about this oil and your leg circulation is something on a completely different level. A landmark clinical trial published in the American Heart Association's journal Hypertension specifically studied adults with peripheral arterial disease. That is a condition where the arteries supplying the legs become narrowed and blood flow is reduced. These participants consumed flaxseed, which is the whole seed form containing the same key fatty acid as flaxseed oil, every day for 6 months. At the end of the trial, their systolic blood pressure had dropped by up to 10 millimeters of mercury, a reduction that would be considered clinically significant even for a prescription medication. Separate research cited in the American Journal of Physiology found that increased intake of alpha-linolenic acid, the primary omega-3 in flaxseed oil, often abbreviated as ALA, was associated with a 40% lower risk of peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy means nerve damage in the extremities, and one of its primary causes in older adults is chronically reduced blood flow to the legs over time. The mechanism is this. Your body converts a portion of the ALA in flaxseed oil into EPA and DHA, the same beneficial fatty acids found in fish oil. Beyond that conversion, ALA itself reduces the production of inflammatory signaling molecules called prostaglandins that cause your blood vessels to constrict. Less constriction means less resistance. Less resistance means better flow. Flaxseed oil also measurably reduces triglyceride levels in the blood. Research has shown reductions of up to 18% in just 6 weeks, which matters because thick, triglyceride-rich blood does not circulate nearly as efficiently as thin, clean blood. Every one of those mechanisms points directly at the heaviness, the aching, and the poor circulation you feel in your legs. Take 1 tablespoon of flaxseed oil per day, add it to your morning yogurt, blend it into a fruit smoothie, or drizzle it over cooked oatmeal after it cools slightly. Never, ever heat it. Flaxseed oil has one of the lowest smoke points of any culinary oil, and heat transforms its beneficial ALA into harmful oxidized fats, the exact opposite of what you want. Here is the pro trick that almost no one uses correctly. Flaxseed oil goes rancid faster than nearly any other oil in your kitchen, within as little as 6 weeks of opening, even if refrigerated. Rancid oil does not just lose its benefits, it actually generates free radicals, unstable molecules that damage the very blood vessel walls you are trying to heal. Always buy flaxseed oil in the smallest dark glass bottle available. Store it in the back of your refrigerator where the temperature is coldest and most consistent, and replace it every 4 to 6 weeks. Smell it before every use. Fresh flaxseed oil has a mild, nutty, slightly grassy scent. If it smells sharp, bitter, or like old paint, discard it immediately and open a fresh bottle. Before the final recap, there is something important I want to say to you directly, and I say it because I genuinely care about your well-being. Everything shared in this video is for educational purposes only. It is not a replacement for personal medical advice from a doctor who knows your full health history. If you manage conditions like diabetes, kidney disease, or heart disease, or if you take prescription blood thinners, blood pressure medication, or other daily medications, please speak with your physician before adding these oils in meaningful quantities to your diet. Some of them, including fish oil and flaxseed oil, can interact with blood-thinning medications. This reminder is not a legal disclaimer. It comes from a place of genuine care. You deserve to be safe, and the best version of this information is the version that works alongside your medical team, not around it. Let us bring it all together now. Extra virgin olive oil fuels the production of nitric oxide in your arterial lining, restoring the natural flexibility that lets blood flow freely to your legs. Fish oil rebuilds the very cell membranes of your artery walls, reducing stiffness by a measurable 9% in just 12 weeks, proven in older adults at Penn State University. Avocado oil protects your arteries from the oxidative damage that narrows them over time, and its blood pressure reductions in research have rivaled prescription medication in their magnitude. Black seed oil renews your blood vessels from the inside by silencing the inflammatory signals that make artery walls stiff and tight, with clinical evidence showing measurable blood pressure benefits in just 8 weeks. And flaxseed oil, the quiet, unassuming bottle in most kitchens, regenerates circulation in your legs through 3 separate mechanisms: reducing arterial constriction, thinning heavy blood, and lowering the very pressure that makes every step feel like an effort. Here is what I want you to do today, not tomorrow. Today. Choose just one oil from this video, whichever one feels the most accessible to you, the one you can pick up at the store today or find already on your shelf. Add it to your next meal exactly the way it was described. Just one day, one small step. Then notice how your body feels tomorrow morning when you sit on the edge of your bed. Notice whether your legs feel even slightly lighter than they did today. Then come back here and share it in the comments. Your experience matters, and it might be the exact encouragement someone else needs to take their own first step. If this video meant something to you, if it gave you one new idea, one new reason to believe that your best days are still ahead, then please share it with someone you love. A parent, a friend, a neighbor, who shuffles to the mailbox and comes back looking exhausted in a way that breaks your heart a little. You might not realize it, but sharing this video could be the thing that changes their life. Subscribe to Older Coach if you have not yet. Every video we make is designed for one purpose: to remind you that aging does not have to mean slowing down, giving up, or losing the things you love most. You have worked too hard for too many years to simply accept weakness as your fate. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to move freely. You deserve to live fully. And I will be right here every single week, giving you the tools to do exactly that. Take care of yourself. Stay active, stay strong, have a blessed day, and as always, breathe easy.